everybody, welcome in to my bathroom for the shave of the day. I'm ready and hopefully you are as well. I have a good scent going right now. I can smell it already. I'm not sure what I'm smelling though, and it's a new product, at least for me, and I did notice some other people who have recently found it at different natural stores, all natural, herbal stores and organic stores. And I picked this one up at the Cracker Barrel. It doesn't really say, what's in it exactly, other than bergamot, vetiver, citrus, peel oil, and just your basics, I think, coconut oils. And it does have some aloe vera in it. I know that much. It's a very slick soap, I think, for the most part, that being due to the fact that it is a glycerin type base. So today I'm going to be using some Proraso in the red sandalwood scent. And yesterday I missed shaving. I mean, I really missed it. Literally and figuratively too. Yeah. I am getting to the point where I truly enjoy and look forward to my daily shaves. And yesterday I was really tied up and preoccupied, so just didn't have the chance or the time, and that's what I think, that's what I'm enjoying, the fact that I do have the time and find the time for me, a little me time, when I get my shave on, And that's why, right there, I like using the Proraso in the red. Because of the sandalwood, of course, that's one aspect. But, and I do love sandalwood, but another being the fact that it spreads on so evenly. I heated up some hot water, if you read the comment section, and I put it in my scuttle. I think I put about 2 minutes on the microwave, a cup full of water. I didn't put this inside because it is gold painted, and I know that could possibly throw a little spark or two. So I heated it up in another cup and then poured it straight into my scuttle. I have, I guess, practiced with this a few times, just lathering and checking it out. I've never put it into my daily routine until now. I've got the soap sitting on top, and my brush has been heating inside the water, as well as my Dovo 106. I just submerged the blade inside, just enough to heat it up and get the steel ready. I stropped it ahead of time as well. By the way, my brush today I'm using is a Dennis Coluccio, made of stabilized burl. Very pretty. Has a sort of a purplish tint, along with some blues and grays and blacks, a little whites here and there. That scuttle I showed you is by Inesco. I'm not sure if that's a good brand or not, but it is Inesco, and it's got the logo on the bottom. There, you see it. So what do you see on top of that? That's pieces of the soap that I trimmed around the bottom half to make it fit properly inside my scuttle. So I didn't want to throw them away. There were some big shaved pieces, so I just heated them up with water and compressed it on top and whipped it with a brush a few times, and it's perfect now. So I've just poured out my hot water. I have my brush still soaked, drenched, you might say. Some people say you can take your soap and just heat it up a little bit to help, get the texture going. I personally did not. Although I did pour a little hot water over the top. It drains through the holes underneath. And I'm just basically coating up my brush. Now, some people like to use their scuttle a little differently than this, and that's okay. This is the first time I've used it. I haven't really decided what's best for me yet, but there are the holes, the drain holes, And if you do want to just take your soap and leave it in another container or whatever the case may be, you can just use this part here like it's supposed to be used and use it for stirring action, to whip it into a good froth or whatever type of lather you prefer. Lay your brush there as it's supposed to be. And this one says on the front, Old Coach House, Bristol. I'm wondering if that's Bristol, Virginia, Bristol, Tennessee. There are several Bristols in the U.S., I know that. So anyway, right now, I'm going to put a little hot water back into the scuttle. Although it, I don't want it to cool down yet. Although it doesn't necessarily get that hot or as hot as a microwave will get my scuttle. But it's pretty warm. It gets very hot, don't get me wrong. So I've got it with water in it. Just that way it will heat up my mug, and if I need to add some water, then I'll just immerse my brush inside the scuttle and get some hot water to go along with it. But man, oh man, I like that heated brush. That's awesome. And I can tell you right now what it's going to feel like. Oh, yeah. It doesn't quite get as hot as the candle warmer I showed you recently. But it does a good job. Some people are faithful scuttle users. I've never used one until now. I have a 1-day beard growth. I don't quite need a chainsaw to knock it down yet, but it's getting up there. The soap it's got a good coating. Of course, it is, like I said earlier, a glycerin base, and therefore it's going to be a slick coating soap, which I like. Some guys prefer a rather frothy type lather, and that's okay if that's what you like. Whatever is good for you. And I'm sure you can obtain that type of soap lather with this soap if you really wanted to. I'm going to set that back in my scuttle for now. I had a hot shower and I'm ready to go. In the meantime, I'm going to set my brush right on top underneath my soap. That way it will sit right there and stay warm. My razor today is my Dovo 106. It's a 5/8 razor. Pretty decent little razor, actually. I guess from what I'm experienced with, it is. I really wish I didn't have to have glasses. Just sort of wet my blade and wiped it off on my towel. The downward pass. Got a haircut at the barbershop yesterday. The old-fashioned barbershop. This guy's really cool. He's a nice guy. I've told him all about my shave groups. Here in Kentucky, they're not allowed to use the straight razor to shave customers. Isn't that weird? They have to use a shavette. That's just the rule. He told me about another change that they made in the state of Kentucky. He said that, I'm going to put a little more here. He said that before they were able to soak their, their equipment, such as their combs, and the combs that fit on their razors, their electric razors, etc. But they did soak them in barbicide. No longer. He said now they have to soak them in, or not soak, but they have to keep them under a ultraviolet light for so many hours. Isn't that wild? He said they've changed the laws so many times from when he first got into barbering. They've changed them so much, he said, that he can barely keep up. Do you know what laws your state has? Have you talked to your barber about the laws? If you get to, or you have the chance, the opportunity, I'd like to hear from you guys. I really would. Right now I'm going to heat up a little more soap. My brush, just going to wring out some of the soap that's in it and get some more, loaded up a little more. The reason being, I've got a sort of a tender type neck. I know that I've had a few accidents and cuts here and there, and I'm just trying to get over some of the issues of keeping the bumps from popping up, and then shaving the tops off like I've done before, which is a pain in the ass. But this right here really warms up the brush. You can even stick it flat down and it warms it up nicely. And if you need water, you just dip a few drops from the lip of the scuttle. Pour some of that out just a bit. Anyway, at any rate, if you don't mind sharing with me, I'd like to hear from you. What does your barber say to you guys when you go visit? Yeah, does he complain? Talk politics? I did a little of politic and talking. Not cause I liked it, just to sit back and watch some of the elderly gentlemen get stirred up. It was pretty fun. Someone asked me once, do you have fun every damn place you go? And the answer is yes. I do, or try to. Well, you can really tell a major difference, or I can, when I skip, a whole day shave, like yesterday. Now I'm just sort of smearing around what's left in my beard. A little excess shave cream mixed with some Proraso, and that's why I do it, so I can still keep the texture and the content about the same in my beard, or what's left of it. I guess that's one of the advantages of having a partial beard. So I was going to say, I went to my barber with a purpose of doing a little wheeling and dealing. I have or had a strop that was given to me by his ex-partner. The ex-partner has moved on. I think he's in Florida now. So this guy's all by himself. And the ex-partner gave me a nice, really nice horsehide strop. One thing, it had a slice about that long, up close, I think about 5 inches down from the top. And that sucked. It really was, it messed you up while stropping, or it did me. So I thought, well, what the heck. I was down there yesterday talking to my good buddy, the barber. My good buddy Keith Peak is his name, at the Clip Joint. That's the name of the place. And he had told me the day before, you know, you ought to bring me some of those donuts that your wife fixes. Sure, why not? So I did. Brought him some donuts. A whole big box full of mixed. Oh man, there's all kinds in there. Chocolate glazed, strawberry, I guess, filling, and cream filled, and you name it. And I took my old strop with him, or with me. And I said, hey buddy, I come to do a little wheeling and dealing. He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, I was here yesterday and I noticed you got that strop. He said, yeah, it's just like yours. I said, yeah, well, almost just like mine. Let me grab this one out of the car. You enjoy your donuts. I'll be right back. I'm just picking. I went out, I got my donuts and gave them to him and brought the strop in with the big slice on it. I said, how about doing a swap? He doesn't use it, you know, no need for it because of the state's laws. Has to use a shavette. He said, well, sure, why not? I don't use it. He's a good guy, really awesome guy. He collects bottles, old antique bottles. And he and I are going to go bottle hunting. Well, I've got to find me some nice bottles, you know, to put my cologne in, you know. I'm going to do one more pass because it was a long beard. It wasn't that long, but I mean, it was 1 day's growth extra. I guess I could put a little water in there and it might do a little better, huh? Sort of drying up now. But I only have one more pass, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, needless to say, he got some donuts and a strop with a cut in it, and I got a strop without a cut, but I don't got no donuts. So what kind of a relationship do you have with your barber? Is it one of those you just sit in the chair and that's about it? Not me. You know, I talk way too much. In fact, my throat is raw right now from talking this morning. I've been up since midnight though, so my day is a little different than most people, I'm sure. It's a little, they call them laugh lines. See the cheeks where they go right there and right there? Little laugh lines. Little chubby cheek. That's what I called one of my daughters when she was a baby, chubby cheeks. Guess she got it from her daddy. Anyway, because of that laugh line, I tend to hang up on that sometimes with my razor and cut myself. I may not have the most orthodox way of shaving, but it works, you know? Gotta learn as you go. Tell you one thing, it's going to be difficult to find anybody that enjoys it any more than I do. Is that weird? Yeah, that's weird. I didn't bring my tea up here. All right. Now that feels nice, except for this area that grows a little thicker, so I'm going to go right over that. Got it. That's it. That's a nice shave right there, boys and girls. Time to close shop. Ah, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Like I said, it's going to be hard to find anybody out there who enjoys it anymore. You may enjoy it equally. But I'm going to say it's going to be difficult to find someone who enjoys it more than I do. That was awesome. Great shave. Feels good. Now it's time to top it all off. How about some Bay Rum? Yes, Club Pinot. Virgin Island Bay Rum. This stuff here is like a dime a quart. I'm kidding. It is, get it, Daddy? You hear that guy in the background? It is some good stuff, you know, at a cheap price. Have you ever researched how they make that stuff? Man, I suggest you do. There's no way I could even begin to tell you everything, but the process they go through, some of them, I mean, have some tremendous amounts of different alcohols and vodka. I believe I saw one with vodka the other day. Pretty wild. And as my pre-shave balm, or post-shave rather, Burt's Bees. This is all natural skincare products for men, and this stuff is really good for afterwards, your aftershave. It restores your skin, and Lord knows it needs some little restoring after putting it through a big shave like that. You know, I talked to a guy the other day from Norway, and he told me that what I probably didn't even notice was the fact that my skin tone and texture probably has changed a lot since I began wet shaving, and especially since I began using a straight razor. You know what? He was right. And I have reached host status, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. It's been great. And I want to say, have yourself a fantastic upcoming weekend. It's almost here. Smooth sailing from here on out, okay? Take care of one another. Peace.